recording? Oh. Hi guys, welcome to Educating Jenny. I'm Shani and I have an eating disorder. Hi Shani. Hi. So this is my weekly Wednesday update and I'm just going to give you an update on my week, and it was a really rough week, I'm not going to lie. So my family, a lot of my family has been in town recently for the past week. We've all been staying in the house here, and we've been doing a lot of celebrating this week because it was the 24th of July, which in Utah we celebrate Pioneer Day because that's the day that Brigham Young brought the pioneers to Utah. So we celebrate that day. So my family was here. We did a lot of get-togethers and a lot of partying with the neighbors and all kinds of fun fireworks and stuff. The first thing that I would like to announce that I'm very happy about, this is something that's been bothering me for a really long time, and I'm really proud that I finally have been able to change it. So here goes. If you notice in the background, I have a brand new candle. And I'm very excited about it because my old candle smelled like mold. I don't know what it smelled like, but I didn't like it. And I've been wanting to get a new candle for so long. And so I finally got this beautiful purple candle, and it's some sort of boysenberry something crap candle, but it's better than the other one. So I'm very happy about it. So I just thought I would get that out of the way first. So I'm very proud. That's a big step that I took. Let's get to the serious stuff now, which is not fun, but it needs to be talked about. So it was kind of a rough week for me. Like I was just saying, we had a lot of family in town and a lot of parties and a lot of celebrating going on around here. That was all fun, but I feel like I've been really angry this week. I'm finding that I've been really kind of bitchy this week. It's true, right? My husband looks at me like, yes, it's true. I've been a little bitchy this week. Even with all of this celebrating that's going on, I'm sure that anybody in my family and my friends that have seen me in the past week can tell you that I just have had this like chip on my shoulder, and I've been really angry. And I think it's because the more I'm healing, the more memories that are coming up for me and the more details of sexual abuse are coming up for me, and that's really hard to deal with. But I know that that means that I'm getting better, that my mind is healing little by little enough to let those bad thoughts or those bad memories come back to me so that I can deal with them and let them go forever. So right now I'm kind of in that process. So I'm trying to figure out a way to deal with them in a healthy way, and that's been hard for me. That's really hard for me because I'm not an angry person. I don't like to be angry. I like to be happy, or I at least like to fake that I'm happy. I like to make people smile. I like to try and stay positive and upbeat as much as I can. Especially since I started doing these videos, I've noticed that it helps me when I'm more positive than when I used to be really negative about things. So that's awesome. But yeah, this just doesn't fit me well. Like I don't like this feeling of feeling angry all the time. And it's like frustrating, and I just wanted to apologize to any of my family and friends who are watching if I've taken any of this out on you, which I know I have, and I'm so sorry about it. I am really trying to work through the hard stuff, and it's making me feel hard. Sad, mad, awkward, upset, frustrated, all of those things. It's hard, but I'm working on it. So I'm going to be looking into getting into therapy again. These videos have been wonderful for me. They're great therapy, and I'm going to keep on doing them. But I'm also looking for a therapist that can kind of specialize in, sexual abuse and other abuse that I went through, so that I can work through those things, because I don't think that would be appropriate to work through on YouTube. I don't know, like I'll talk about it, but I don't think it's necessary for me to go into detail about things and things like that. So right now I'm looking for a therapist that we can afford that would help me with that. So until I get that, if I come off angry, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be angry. I'm just angry. So, okay. So besides all of that, I just wanted to talk really quickly about something that's been on my mind, especially because of last night. And this is also to answer my sister Liz's question from my question and answer video yesterday. If you missed that, go check it out because I answered some questions and maybe some of my answers can help you. Maybe they can't, but maybe they can. It's worth looking for. So Liz was asking me what my feelings were on the effectiveness or ineffectiveness of eating disorder treatment centers. And I want to answer that because last night I had a really good, hard, deep, frustrating, loving conversation with my mom and sister last night, and they stayed up until 2 in the morning talking to me, and we were basically talking about the fact that they want me to go to a treatment center. My whole family wants me to go, and I was telling them that if they watch my videos, they know that I'm starting to heal mentally, and that's true, and I'm proud of that because I came up with this idea on my own, and I got it started with the help of my brother and a couple other people, but I came up with this idea. I decided to do this. I decided to put myself out there in hopes of helping me and also helping other young girls out there and boys or anybody else who's struggling with an eating disorder to not feel alone. And this has been awesome for me. I have made so much progress, except this week I've just been an angry bitch. But besides that, I've made so much progress. But they were bringing up a point and they absolutely have a point here. What they're saying is, okay, we know that you're doing better mentally and that's wonderful. But we're worried about you physically. We're worried about your organs because you've had an eating disorder for 25 years and your organs could shut down any day. And while it's great that you're getting yourself better mentally, what if I'm just doing these videos to fix me mentally in the meantime until I get down to not throwing up at all and not starving at all? What if in the meantime I die all of a sudden? Which is very possible. I will give them that. That's so true. And because that's what happens when you have an eating disorder, especially if it's been over 2 decades of it. My organs hurt all the time. And while I've had a lot of health problems, none of them have been like deathly concerning. I have a ton of horrible, painful health problems and scary ones, but none of them have ever felt life-threatening to me. And when I've gone to the hospital before and I've stayed in the hospital, they've done tests on me to find out what's wrong, and they couldn't find anything other than like my gastroparesis, which is where I don't digest, which everybody with an eating disorder gets at one point or another, especially if you've been doing it for a long time. Or they'll just find more ulcers because I always have ulcers and I always have anal fissures and hemorrhoids and throat problems, but like nothing with my heart, nothing with my liver or anything. But Michelle, my sister, made a good point that, she knows a lot of people who struggle with an eating disorder, and a lot of them, they would go to the doctor and their heart would be fine too and their liver would be fine too, but just one day they would get a heart attack and die, like out of nowhere. And I know that that's possible. I've tried to ignore that. So anyway, to answer Liz's questions, I feel like I guess I can't answer it because I have not stayed inpatient treatment before. I went on a tour at Center for Change back when I was seeing my therapist. My therapist took me there for a tour, and I came home and it was really, really, really triggering for me there. And a lot of people think that that's just an excuse coming from me, but that's the honest truth. When I went there and saw all of these girls who were so thin and so frail and in wheelchairs even, and I was jealous of them, like it triggered me. I went home thinking, okay, if I really am going to go to treatment, first of all, I need to lose about 60 more pounds so that I'm one of those bony, skinny, underweight people so that I'll fit in there. Second of all, I feel like a ridiculous giant blob who has no room to complain and who doesn't even belong there. Like it really just kind of messed with my mind, and that's probably just Ed telling me those things. Like I get that, but it's true. That's how it happened. Like I just felt so triggered and so unsafe, and so it was just, I don't know, but I still think about it. I think about it all the time. My husband and I think about it all the time. And my husband's stance on it is that he supports me through anything that I do, any decision that I make. He loves me unconditionally. He always has, he always will. But he wants me to make the decisions for myself which I appreciate because it's been a decade of him fighting and trying to get me to go to treatment, and he finally realized one day, okay, this is going to be your decision, not mine, so it's up to you now, and that's all I can do. And I don't blame him for that, and some people might look at it that he's enabling me by not trying anymore to make me go, but to be honest, I kind of appreciate his honesty with it and his genuine caring for me, even though I make bad decisions. And so right now, today, last night and today, since we had that talk, it was a very emotional talk, a lot of crying. I actually cried a lot, believe it or not, I did. I cried a lot, and so I've been trying to process it all night long and today, and I'm just trying to see how I'm feeling and deciding on what would be a good idea for me. And if you guys have any advice for me, I'm talking especially to those of you, because I know I have a lot of eating disordered friends out there who have been to treatment, and I know a lot of, actually all of the people I've talked to have said that treatment has not worked for them, that they bull crap their way through it and they came home and fell right back into it, which I've always felt like I would do. I feel like if I go to treatment, I would completely lie my way through it, manipulate my way through it, and act like I'm better and go home and fall right back. Like, I know I would. But a lot of people, no one wants to go to treatment their first time. My sister was telling me, because she's been in treatment for things, and she was telling me nobody there wanted to be there. So yeah, there's something to that. Like, you have to have that desire to want to go to treatment, or else it's not going to work. But for some people, they go, and maybe like a week into it, they find the desire. So yeah, so these are all things I'm just trying to process. I would love to hear your thoughts on it, especially if you've been through it. Especially, I have not found this yet, but if you're out there and you have an eating disorder and you went to inpatient treatment and it helped you, it worked for you, please let me know. If you don't want to talk about it in the comments below, email me at educatingshani@gmail.com and let me know your story, and maybe that would help me figure this out more. Until then, my husband and I are just thinking about it more and praying about it more and trying to really have faith in my good side of my brain to make the right decision here for me. The other option that I was thinking about, and I feel like this is kind of a better option because I am healing mentally. We know that these videos are good for me in that way. But the physical obviously is scary. Like, I might not have enough time left to heal myself fully mentally before I start on the physical. So my sister and mom and I were talking about me maybe just going to like the medical hospital itself and checking in for a few days and letting them do all of the tests on me to make sure that my organs are okay, or if they think I'm in danger of a heart attack or things like that. So that's another option we're considering. So I would go to the hospital and stay there for a while. I would still be doing my videos because this has been helping me a ton, and I would also try and find a therapist that we can afford. So these are all options we're thinking about. I don't know what else to say because I haven't really decided yet. So I just wanted to let you know where my thinking was, and I'm going to be thinking about that a lot this week. And I will keep my goals the same as last week. I'm going to make it to church this week. I'm going to go one night without binging and purging or over-laxatizing or any eating disorder behavior. I'm also going to keep going outside every single day, which I've been doing, and I'm super proud of that. And I'm going to be a little bit more brave. I'm trying to be more brave. Like, I don't know, like I'm just trying to be more, I'm trying to be around people more and try to like interject myself into social situations as much as I can. Like, I mean, this week we've had so many neighborhood parties and family parties, so it's kind of been a good way for me to kind of sneak into the crowds of people who live around me and kind of chat with everybody, and I was able to do that, and it was really nice, and I'm really proud of myself. Like, it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. And yeah, I'm really going to be thinking seriously about this because my mom and sister brought up things that, to be honest, I did not want to hear at first last night. Again, I've been in a bitchy mood all week and I didn't want to hear it, but in the end, after we talked for a long time, I think that they have some very valid concerns and some very valid points, and they're not the only ones that have told me that. I know Mouse, if you're watching, and I know Liz, if you're watching, I know you've told me the same thing, and I really don't know what to say because I haven't decided, so I guess I'll just say that I'm thinking about it, and I guess we'll see how I do this week, and I guess I'll let you know next week what my decision is. I'm really going to take the time to think and pray about this. So, okay, so thank you for watching. I'm sorry I'm such a bitch this week, but that's how I'm feeling, and sometimes that happens, especially when you're thinking of sexual abuse and other abuse that you don't want to think about and you don't want to be brought up, but it is being brought up because your brain is getting healthier enough to think about it and process it and decide how you can heal from it and move on from it, instead of stuffing it down with food and starving it out of myself like I used to do, and numbing myself so that I didn't have to think about it, and I wouldn't let my brain was too numb for me to let those memories and feelings come up, so I can finally work on them now. Okay. So join me Tuesday for another Topic Tuesday video, and go check out yesterday's video if you missed it. I did my first Q&A video, and that was awesome. And if you have any other questions to let me know about, and I will put it in my next Q&A video, that would be awesome too. So, okay, thank you for watching. You're beautiful, you're worth it, and I am too. Thank you for watching. Bye!